Yes. Oh yeah, definitely. But I can ask Lydia about this stuff. She might just say it's actually quite valuable, or it's just.
Well, it did come up on the PEA years ago, wasn't it? The only thing that was there was rare grass seeds and stuff like that. So now there's more at there may be some grass seeds that we need to retain again.
Yes.
But the other thing was the potential
just jump in here.
Malthusian snail habitat. Which again, further work was done on that, further survey work was done on that to establish that it wasn't, and they weren't present. So, unless by some miracle in the last 6 years the Malthusian snails simply now come back again, which is possible, of course, however unlikely.
Yeah, I mean some of those. I don't know. It does add interest to the fence lines, doesn't it? Just to have those different shaped sort of hedgerows.
Yes. And that's the thing. Habitat links.
Sure, there's plenty of insects feeding on it. Does look quite wet in there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. But then
it's been raining.
I would think at this point that's probably rained for the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
I think it's just doesn't actually have tubs. So, I mean, I've come through various highway, puddling, to say the least. You can call it that.
Yes. Block drains.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a little sort of place where they very congregate stuff that you had overnight, which during the last 24 hours was quite sizable. Almost like the storm type portion of rain overnight. It's actually been allocated class as a storm.
Nice and open through here.
Yeah.
So are they proposing to recycle this fence?
No, not been mentioned. I'm proposing to either relocate or they can have it upside wherever.
So we're putting a new fence in on the field side of the path?
Yes. And then from our user's perspective, it will be then the same as the southern section, where, in as much as there's a path that side, and if people want to come off the path and come up over the top of the
yeah,
then clearly there's nothing to stop them from doing so.
I mean, the topo is probably going to tell us where the toe of the flood defence is, because it's not that clear. I suppose it is when you're standing on it. There's an angle there somewhere, isn't there?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I didn't know whether because the drawings that were submitted at the planning stage, now that would have shown that the pathway position kind of varied somewhat from where the actual toe of the bund was. And so from that perspective, it's a case of whether, if it's been mapped at that point, which was then sort of 6-7 years ago, then that measurement should still exist, and therefore we should be in a position to be able to replicate that with the drawings we're now just doing, rather than starting from absolute scratch. But as you say, here, the actual toe of the bund is probably,
well, it's probably where
about 8 inches that way.
Yeah.
Whereas up there, it's
Which
only about 3
Which again, it would be nice to have some width through the route as well. I mean, we've got to put it in the toe. We've got to put it in the toe, and
yeah, exactly.
If it's a long flat bank or a steep one, then so be it. That's
absolutely right. Absolutely right. You just need to follow the toe, follow the natural contour is the way forward. So we're not going to impede on the flood defences in any way, shape, or form.
yes.
No intention.
Well, more so sort of securing them, or
yeah, absolutely. I think
bit of
it's more going to
seepage.
be a case of, I think the opportunity exists to actually sort of build up slightly onto the toe a little bit.
Yeah.
Which actually then reinforces the actual flood defences and things like that, because any sort of waterfall is going to go the opposite way into the field.
Yes. And this bush there, we just take a little bit off the end of that to improve the sight line, or are you gonna go around it? Yeah, I think so too. It does, yeah.
This location, although you've only got three classes of temporary, very temporary fence, made up of these existing posts and wire, because it gets taken down every so often. So this will be then, we will be putting in a gate facility beyond the path line, so then you've got an opportunity to pass from one field to the other.
Yeah.
And again, we'll be doing one over that side. So well, obviously the gap what you see at the minute would actually be where the pathway goes, and then we'll put a gate in on the other side to allow him field to field.
The gate will probably be second one in or first one in from that main post there.
Yeah, I'd always go first one in really.
Yeah, okay. There's plenty of space there, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. This is a nice wide one where there's no real...
Quite a lot of water up there, isn't there, as well? And
There is, but again, it's all very high.
Yeah.
There is a high water table at this sort of...
Well, the dike
exists.
I mean, the dike's just there to hold the water, isn't it? Or do you think it's moving somewhere?
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure whether it actually moves via sort of, well, just sort of underground type passage to sort of come out somehow.
Yeah, could do, couldn't it?
Into the river at very low tide. I mean, when
that fence line there is interesting. Just that little bit of fencing almost implies that there's something there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any. No EA items have ever chopped this on the stones, and it might just be something to do with the history of the land, because the estate has acquired land as it's grown. Yeah. So it could well be that field was a field boundary, a landowner boundary.
That's a lovely straight run there, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now all of a sudden it's like, crack on.
Yeah.